Oh shit! That's the I didn't even realize this, man. Bro, that's the fucking Bike PD drawing. So he's referring to the song Tony Montana, and in the song Tony Montana, it's 3 + 2 + 8, which is 13. What? Man, bro, 1 + 4 + 5 + 3 is 13. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? It has become tradition to return once every couple months to Daechwita by AGUST D. Now, if you haven't seen my original reaction, it was one of the first ever reactions I did to anything BTS related. To be fair, it is one of the introductions to the K-pop world for Anthony Ray. It is one of the reasons, the core foundation, one of the building blocks, the fundament to why we are here today. Damn. Poetic, man, I know, damn. This is a video suggested by Patreon. If you guys are interested, check out the Patreon link down below. Sign up, there's over 400 videos, and so many of them are BTS related. I know that the Daechwita has a symbolic meaning of AGUST D, aka Suga, aka Min Yoongi, right? Encountering his past self and dealing with that and going through a certain amount of change and letting go of his past mistakes, of insecurities, doubt, hatred, whatever is going on in his mind, right? It is something to do with that, and that is being represented symbolically with him being imprisoned and then having the people on his side and the shouting Daechwita, where he faces the king, the ruler, who is his old arrogant self perhaps, or an old version of himself, the blonde version, and he dethrones him and wins. This is a video by Liri Oni. I am going to put the link down below in the description, and I ask you kindly to check it out and like the video, subscribe to her, and show some support there, because that is the original creator. Now this is, if I'm not mistaken, it's in Spanish, but hey, we don't mind other languages, right? Yo habla español. Sí. Oh yeah, check out the second channel, by the way. This channel is catching a lot of flack, copyright issues, and this and that. So check out Anthony Ray 2. You do me a huge favor if you, I don't know, check out some videos there. There's a lot of reactions there and a lot of music. I'm posting daily there, twice a day. So let's go.
Hola Yomi, soy Lirian Ni. Salió la nueva canción de AGUST D, el segundo mixtape. La canción se llama Daechwita, y por más que no seas fan de BTS, te recomiendo que te quedes en este video porque vamos a hablar un montón de cosas culturales de Corea, en especial de historia de Corea, así que qué mejor aprovechar la interpretación de este videoclip y de esta canción con aspectos culturales. La verdad que fue toda una sorpresa que haya salido el segundo mixtape de AGUST D el 22 de mayo, porque el 16 de mayo Big Hit había lanzado un...
Oh, so the truth was that it was a surprise that the second mixtape of AGUST D came out on May 22nd, because on May 16, Big Hit had launched a countdown with the number 7, and on May 22nd, it was the day of -2.
Una cuenta regresiva con el número 7,
D-7,
y el 22 de mayo era el día de -2. Todo el mundo pensaba que...
Oh, that's nice, man. The way that they did that, that's nice. That's cool. All right, I was just curious about that. All right.
Y el 22 de mayo era el día de -2. Todo el mundo pensaba que faltaban 2 días más para que salga alguna novedad, y resulta que el mix...
Even though everyone thought it was 2 more days before something new came out, and it turns out that AGUST D's mixtape is called D2. I see. So they did a little mind trick on us. Okay. So because people thought D0 was gonna be a release of something, but no. On D2, the mixtape AGUST D's D2 dropped, so it's actually 5 days. Okay.
Tape de AGUST D se llama D2. Esto yo sé que Suga lo hizo a propósito, nos troleó a todos, caímos en su trampa, la verdad que nos tomó súper de sorpresa. Espero que hayan visto el videoclip porque la verdad es una obra de arte. Bueno, este mixtape, que no es de Suga, de BTS, sino de su otro nombre artístico, que es AGUST.
Oh, it's a non-commercial, non-profit mixtape. That's fire. He could have easily made that his album, because it's album worthy. It's incredible, right? By the way, guys, I have completely checked AGUST D's first mixtape on Patreon, reacted to some of the songs and reacted to skits, this and that, you know. RM's mixtape is also fully on Patreon. His first mixtape, RM. AGUST D's D1 I don't think that's the name. I think the name of the mixtape is just August D, is on Patreon. And No More Dream is on Patreon as well. Oh, Are You Late Too is on Patreon as well. I'm going through their projects, man. I'm going through. It won't take long before I get to D2, right? And I'm going to check out everything. I know I've reacted to certain things already on the channel, so you can check that out on this channel, right? For the people who don't have access to Patreon. But I will be revisiting certain songs in more depth, detail, analytical thinking, right? Let's just continue.
AGUST es un mixtape que no tiene fines comerciales, que es sin fines de lucro.
I like their solo project, especially for this reason, where she's explaining right here. Thank you, lady. Where it allows you to express yourself more freely. I like the fact, because whenever I say this a couple times already, multiple times, whenever they are in a group, like a group interview, or it's just a collective, right? It's a group song. Certain members only get a certain amount of time to shine, and they're making a hit song, and it's for the industry, and it's for the label, and it's to get big, and it's to get, you know, all that. But when it's something that's non-profit, it's a mixtape. It really comes from the soul. It really comes from the heart. Not saying the other things don't do that, but I'm saying here, there's no doubt about it. This is something that just comes from an individual's, not a group, not a collective, an individual's creative spirit. They wanted to make this because they're passionate about it, because it comes from a place of pure emotion, raw, unfiltered, authentic love for the craft. And that is why I really, really, really gravitate towards the individual projects. And that is why, to me, it is very comforting, you know, hearing about the hiatus. It's sad, I understand. But to me, I'm looking forward so much to the individual projects. We've had J-Hope's individual album, Chef's Kiss. We got Indigo coming, bro. I'm excited about that, man. I'm ready for it. And then we got other solo projects that are possibly coming, and, you know, rumors here and there. There's gonna be solo projects left and right. I'm pretty sure almost every member is working on something, so we got that to look forward to, man.
En donde le permite expresarse más libremente. Bueno, tanto en la letra y en el videoclip también hacen muchísimas referencias a la tradición coreana. Así que bueno, vamos a ir viendo paso a paso.
Let's see him.
Bueno, primero la canción se llama Daechwita y resulta que es un género musical,
Military
una
march.
marcha militar tocada por instrumentos de
It's a
viento
military march played by wind instruments. Wow. And it sounds like this.
y percusión. Y suena así.
Y suena así. So that's like the... yeah, that's what he used.
¿Cuándo se tocaba? Cuando el rey salía de paso.
So it was used when the king went out to walk his walks, when they received someone important, and also when the army returns from a triumphant battle. Army, that's the double entendre.
Gira en sus caminatas, cuando reciben a alguien importante, y también se tocaba cuando el ejército volvía de alguna batalla triunfal. En el caso de esta canción, Yuga eligió este género porque quería utilizar alguna música que se toque en las caminatas de los reyes, y justamente es este género que se llama Daechwita. Y al final la canción resultó un mix entre el trap y los instrumentos tradicionales coreanos. Está claro que con el título de la canción te quiere decir que él es el rey. Pero en el videoclip vemos que hay dos personas idénticas. Un Yuga con pelo negro y otro rubio. ¿Quién de estos dos será el verdadero rey? A medida que avanza el video vamos a ir descubriendo quién es. Bueno, al principio de la canción la letra dice... No te
Okay, hold on. Alright, that's a lot of text. Alright. Yo soy Anthony. Sí, Spanish. Hey, at the beginning of the song, the lyrics say, don't forget the old days. Those who are already fans of BTS will know that they started very low. No one gave them a chance to succeed, and even Suga is not from Seoul, the capital of South Korea, but from a city called Daegu. Daegu dialect. August D. Daegu. Yeah, I know these things, man. I know the lore behind it, man. Damn. What was it? August was Suga or something, right? And then T and D means something else, right? You know, whenever you have a certain level of success, the people who enjoy that the most, right? Their fame, the success, the riches, the luxury, are the people who have had it very bad in the past. Like, let's say you grew up poor or very unfortunate, or you have struggled more than others. Whenever you achieve a certain level of success, then it hits different, you know. When you like the BTS is a perfect example of this. BTS has literally been shoved aside, casted away. outcasts of the industry, even though they were in it, right? They had a very, very rough beginning, very unfortunate, but they still made it happen. And I think it's because, I think a lot of people agree that it's because they've been through this hardship that they've created this strong bond with their community. I don't even want to say fan base, I want to say community, because that's what it is. It's Thai community, like army, yeah. And they never forgot where they came from, like the humble beginnings. They never forgot how rough it was in the beginning, and that is one of the motivating factors for their drive. Bars.
No te olvides de los viejos tiempos. Los que ya son fan de BTS sabrán que BTS arrancó de muy bajo, que nadie le daba la chance de que tenga éxitos. Incluso Suga no es de Seúl, la capital de Corea del Sur, sino que es de una ciudad que se llama Daegu. Su empresa tampoco era una de las más importantes, era una empresa chica. Y Suga era alguien que más que nada quería hacer rap, pero cuando se metió al grupo de los BTS, como era un idol, los raperos se burlaban mucho de él, porque decían que los idols no eran verdaderos raperos. Por eso hay dos frases en la canción que hacen...
We remember that specific interview, right? I don't need to go more in-depth about it, but it's a specific interview of a certain individual rapper, like big in the hip-hop scene. Used to be. I think he fell off. I think he faced like he's going through things, right? And I think he apologized recently publicly, which is fine, man. I mean, okay, sure. I don't know if it's an apology that came sincerely from the heart because he realizes what he said was wrong or was insulting, or he should have worded it differently. Okay, you have a certain opinion, but the things you said were not very respectful. And they damaged your career, man. Like, Army retaliated, man. This is what happens, right? I understand if it's constructive criticism. I understand if you voice your... Like, let's say, for example, with the hip-hop scene, there is a certain masculine image that is always portrayed, which I understand. It's a very dominant music category, genre, very dominant, very assertive. So whenever feminine traits, for example, or traits that are labeled feminine by said genre, right, are shown, it is then perceived as weak or gay, or that, like, these are terms that are being used. I'm not saying it's that. These are terms that are being used. I'm explaining you the thought process behind of the people in this genre. But when you think about it, it's a media thing, bro. It's an industry thing. When you think about it, makeup is used. A bubble just flew out of my mouth. Damn. Makeup is used by, bro, Dwayne Johnson probably has makeup on. Eminem probably has makeup on. Like some type of blush whenever he does an interview or a photo shoot or an album cover or whatever the fuck, man. Who gives a shit, man? If an artist wants to wear eyeliner, I don't care, bro. How good's your music, man? How good's your music, right? I don't care if there's a female rapper who's masculine or a male rapper who's feminine. I don't care. Do you, bro? Like, if this is what you want to do, if this is how you want to portray yourself, well, fine, man, fine. But I do understand that rap and hip hop is still predominantly like a masculine, and there are a lot of homophobes in hip hop. Like, this is not something I'm gonna deny. There's a lot of rappers, especially like certain gangster rappers, like, the hood, the thugs and all of that shit, that are about that life and live that life, that do say these things about I don't know, homophobic slurs or whatever, and not saying it's right. I understand why they do it, and I understand that they do it, but I don't necessarily agree with that. Like, I think it's of course I don't agree with that, man. Any type of discrimination I don't fucking agree with, but I just personally think that we should all be more open-minded and less judgmental about other people, and just that one motto, man. Do you. Just do you, bro. Like however way you live your life does not affect me. However way, of course, when you're on a platform, it's a bit different. That's why I'm very open-minded and just more accepting towards everybody on this platform, because I think that's a message that I'm trying to portray, and I'm trying to have other people think that way as well, because I think that's the way we're gonna grow. If we're able to listen to each other talk, if we're able to just sit down and have a conversation with each other, even if we have different opinions. Your opinions might differentiate, but we can still hear each other out and be like, I respect your opinion, you respect mine. You see it that way, I see it this way. Cool, fine. It is what it is, Like, we just got to be open and willing to talk about these things. So Just saying. Getting too deep on this. I could talk about this all day, man.
Referencia a esto. Una es, nací esclavo pero me convertí en rey. Esto es algo imposible. Si bien en el videoclip están en la dinastía Joseon, donde sistemas de castas de las clases sociales estaban muy marcadas. Tenías al rey arriba de todo.
Rey. Rey? No, I'm joking. I know. No, rey means king. Then the Yangban, who were the middle class, the nobility. In the middle, there were the Chungin, which meant the middle class. They were very few. They were translators, interpreters, or doctors. And then the lower class, that was the peasants. Yeah, so that's why a peasant has such a negative connotation. Merchants and artisans. And below that class was the lowest of all, the slaves, the nobi, the slaves. Is that where the word noble derives from? I don't think so, no. Because it literally says the nobility, so I don't think it derives from that, but okay. This is the, what is it called in Dutch again? Like the pyramid, the class pyramid. I don't remember. I had this in history class. I remember certain things about this. But you do have the grading, and this is very, in like empires and stuff, you had this, man.
Yangban, que eran la clase media.
We don't live by this system anymore, thank God.
La nobleza, en el medio de...
Because, I talk a lot, I know. Because if you were born in this, you usually stayed in this, right? If you were born a Nobi, you usually stayed there. If you were born a Yangban, you usually stayed in there, right?
Tenías los Chungin, que significa clase del medio, que eran muy pocos. Eran los traductores, los intérpretes o los médicos. Y luego ya tenías la clase baja, que eran los Hangmin, o sea, los campesinos, mercaderes y artesanos. Y abajo de esa clase estaba la clase más baja de toda, que eran los esclavos, los nobi, que realmente eran tratados como objetos, y junto a ese rango también estaban los llamados chonmin, que se consideraban impuros, como los pekchon, que son los carniceros, o como los chamanes. La carnicería era considerada un acto sucio en ese momento, incluso para los propios carniceros, los pekchon. Si alguien fallecía en su familia, durante 3 años no se dedicaban a la carnicería. Bueno, miren esta escena, no creo que no lo sepan, pero no
I saw this, I know this. That's Jin and Jungkook right there.
Pasar por alto los cameos de Jin y Jungkook. La cara de Jin es épica. Y qué atrevido Jungkook pegándole a un mayor. Para mí que aprovechó en el videoclip descargarse toda la bronca que tuvo hasta ahora. ¿Vieron que a Jin le gusta pescar y Jungkook le gusta el boxeo? Bueno, por eso esa actuación. Bueno, vean que justo acá
Suga's next to the butchers, who are the same ones who appear on the scene where they execute the criminals as executioners.
Está junto a los pekchon, los carniceros.
So that's the interpretation, the symbolic meaning of the butchers, like being something like unclean or whatever. That is what it was seen as, something that is less cleanliness,
Que son los mismos que aparecen en la escena donde ejecutan a los criminales como verdugos. En esa época los verdugos se decían Bangtani, que durante gran parte de la dinastía
So butchers were executioners.
Forzaban a los pekchon, a los carniceros, a desempeñarse como Bangtanis, como verdugos. Hoy en día se sigue utilizando el término Bangtani, que significa alguien que vive como se le dé la gana, pero pocos saben que en realidad viene de la palabra verdugo. Bueno, volviendo al tema, así que la frase nací como esclavo pero me convertí en rey, ese
I was born as a slave but I became a king is something very strong. It means that he achieved something impossible. And there is another phrase and that is common in these cases, which is I was born in an ordinary but I became a dragon. This is a very common expression in Korea and is used when someone was poor, lived at a disadvantage, then got a good job or got rich.
Muy fuerte, significa que
He also says like I'm a king, I'm a boss.
Logró algo imposible. Y hay otra frase que es muy común para estos casos, que es Quechon 출신의 용된봄. Nací en Quechon pero me convertí en un dragón. Bueno, esta es una expresión muy común en coreano y se usa cuando alguien que era pobre, que vivía en una situación desventajosa, luego consigue un buen trabajo o se convierte en rico. Esta frase de que te convertiste en un dragón es para referirse a que te convertiste en...
Because a dragon is a magnificent beast, like it's a mythical creature and people just look up to it in awe because it's so powerful. It's wow, that's why it's a metaphor for being... for greatness.
Alguien grandioso. Luego ven una frase que dice 미쳐버린 봄
A crazy tiger with a Gwanghae flow. Gwanghae is actually a king of the Joseon dynasty Chosun, is a royal king, and he was one with very little chance that he really was a king. Her father was a king Sonjo, who had a queen who was a royal consort and also had 6 concubines.
Hwang Hae flow. Un tigre loco con un flow de Hwang Hae. Hwang Hae en realidad es un rey de la dinastía Joseon, es un rey real y era un rey
Hwang Hae flow. Hwang Hae flow. That's the bar he
que
says.
tenía
I know
muy
the flow.
pocas probabilidades de que sea rey. Su papá fue el rey Sonjo, que tenía
So does
una
that mean his flow is so complex, or his flow is so technical, or it's so, how do you say this? So wide. He has a wide array of options to choose from when he flows, when he's rhyming. Like, he could do different styles because he's so well versed in that specific aspect of rapping, because he's got so many flows. Is that what they mean?
reina, o sea, la consorte real, y aparte tenía 6 concubinas. Hwang Hae era el segundo hijo
Good
de
Lord.
una de las 6 concubinas del rey Sonjo. Hwang Hae de chico era muy inteligente y una vez su papá Sonjo se había escapado en medio de las invasiones japonesas en los 1590 y había elegido a Hwang Hae para que vaya a calmar el enojo del pueblo, y gracias a eso obtuvo bastantes créditos de su papá y de la gente. Luego la consorte real, la reina, no tuvo hijos y un día murió, y entonces el rey se casó por segunda vez con otra reina que tenía
he
19
remarried
años,
to 9
9
year younger
años menos
queen.
que Hwang Hae. Y esta nueva reina, jovencita,
Son,
sí tuvo un hijo, que
rightful
en realidad era el hijo legítimo, el heredero real de la corona, pero la muerte repentina del rey Sonjo hizo que Hwang Hae se apoderara del reinado, porque el heredero real tenía solo 3 años en ese momento. Bueno, entonces en el reinado de Hwang Hae, como les dije, él era muy inteligente, muy capaz, había sacado una ley muy beneficiosa para el pueblo, era muy destacable, pero era despiadoso y
So he
cruel.
tried to kill.
Hasta
So he did a lot of good things, but he tried to kill his 3-year-old half brother. Jesus.
había enviado a matar a su medio hermano, o sea, el heredero
The royal hair and his
real,
stepmother.
y a su madrastra. Es interesante que haya nombrado a este rey, al rey Hwang Hae, porque hay una película muy taquillera de Corea que se llama Masquerade, y esta película se trata de Hwang Hae, en donde busca un doble, alguien idéntico a él, porque había una amenaza de muerte. Bueno,
So let me hold up in the middle of this video. Let me think about this. So if there's this king, right, who wants to kill the rightful heir to the throne, right? Because he technically isn't, but he did, because the rightful heir was only 3 years old, right? So he would want to kill that. So does that mean that the blonde AGUST is the unrightful heir to the throne, the present king, right, in this scenario, and the 3-year-old actual rightful heir to the throne is the black-haired AGUST coming to kick the blonde AGUST's ass? Is that the am I seeing it right?
vieron que en este videoclip aparecen como un doble, y quizás se inspiró justamente de esta película.
Or maybe this
Hay
is the
también
double.
otro rey que se nos viene.
Jesus, I made the subtitle so damn huge for you guys to read, but it's so big that I have to sometimes do this to read it. Hold up, man. There's also another king that comes to mind, because there's another phrase in the lyrics of the song which says, "Let's leave the past in the grains box." And if we say, says an intelligible word in Korean, the truth that reminds everyone of the king, Jongjo, who was also someone very capable and had made laws that were very beneficial to the country. He was highly respected by everyone, but he committed a very heinous act that consists of starving his son inside of a box of grains. What the fuck, bro?
En la mente, porque hay una frase en la
Starving
letra de la
your son?
canción que dice: 과거는 뒤주에 가두고, dejemos el pasado en el cajón para granos. Y si decimos 뒤주, la verdad que todos les recuerda al rey Yongjo, que era también alguien muy capaz, que había sacado leyes beneficiosas para el país, muy respetados por todos, pero cometió un acto muy atroz, que es dejar morir a su hijo, que lo conocemos como Sato Seja, al heredero real, al príncipe. Lo dejó muriéndose de hambre dentro de un cajón para granos, de un tuiju, y al no poder comer ni tomar agua durante 8 días, el príncipe murió a los 28 años, justo la edad de Yuga. Este tema de
I know about this story. I don't know how, but I know about this story for some reason. It rings a bell, this story. I've seen it before. So, coincidentally, the same age as Suga So he like the blonde sugar dies. So he also, I don't know if that is like intentionally done to with like the grain, the what is it called, the rice box or the grain box or what was it? Jesus Christ, man, how cruel do you have to be to let your son starve in a box of grain, bro? What the fuck? We will talk about these two kings later, but already with those phrases at the beginning of the song's lyrics, it is understood that Suga had a very difficult past, that he achieved the impossible. We also know this from the songs in his previous mixtape released in 2016. You can check that out on Patreon, where he talks about many difficult, sensitive, and intimate issues about his mental disorder or depression. The last, for example, and social phobia, and also about his rise to fame, that his next step would be Billboard. Yeah. That today we know that he did it and many other things.
Reyes lo vamos a tocar más tarde, pero ya con estas frases del principio de la letra se entiende que Suga tuvo un pasado muy difícil, que logró lo imposible, y lo sabemos también por las canciones del mixtape anterior, lanzado en 2016, en donde habla un montón de temas difíciles y sensibles e íntimos sobre sus desórdenes mentales, de depresión y fobia social, y también hablaba del ascenso a la fama, que su siguiente paso serían los Billboards, que hoy en día sabemos que ya lo consiguió y consiguió muchas cosas más. Bueno, la letra dice, todos pensaban que era un perro, no, yo nací como un tigre. Ahora es un superstar, un cantante exitoso. Las ventas no bajan. Punk PD, su productor, se la pasa bailando. Así dice en la letra. ¿Vieron que este dibujo es Punk PD, no?
Oh shit! That's I didn't even realize this, man. Bro, that's the fucking Punk PD drawing. That's the iconic clip of when they were supposed to draw Bang PD, and they drew him like that. Oh shit, bro! I didn't know this. That's awesome, bro. Oh shit, that's awesome,
bro. Pasa bailando, así dice la letra. ¿Vieron que este
funny,
dibujo?
Bro. You saw that in this drawing, it is Bang PD. They had drawn him like that, and underneath the drawing is a Chinese character of the dance. Successful character in the video clip showed him as a ruthless and arrogant king who gives them sermons and tramples on them, cuts off all the heads of these enemies who ignore them, and builds his kingdom with blood, hangs the decapitated heads, and then he keeps them in his drawers.
Es Punk PD, ¿no? Lo habían dibujado así, y abajo de ese dibujo está el carácter chino de bailar. Bueno, todo este personaje exitoso en el videoclip lo muestran como un rey despiadoso, engreído, que da sermones y los pisotea, le corta la cabeza a todos estos haters que lo ignoraban, y construye su reino con sangre, colgando las cabezas decapitadas y guardándolo en cajones. Estos haters que habla acá en la...
These enemies spoken in the lyrics refer to the Korean rappers who belittle him for being an idol, and he realizes by the phrase, at least like you. Although it also has two meanings. One is, at least I'm not weak like you, and the other is, at least I don't take drugs like you. Oh, I didn't know this. See, man, these are the things that I did not know. So he's, in a way, it's like the pettiness, like the blonde AGUST D is the cocky part of him, the arrogant part of him that holds a grudge towards these people that have belittled him in the past, that have insulted him, that have dissed him for the way that he chose to be, right? With the whole idol, this and that, like idols can't be rappers. And then he's like, unlike you, right? Like, at least like you, I don't take drugs, I don't partake in that bullshit. I'm not like you, I'm successful now, bro. I'm a dragon, right? Dragon, bro. How can I be a dog? I was born a tiger.
Letra se refieren a los raperos coreanos.
But then him killing that part of himself means that that's not how you should be. You should not hold grudges in life. You should not look at you should not be. Sometimes being petty is fun, right? It's very fun. I know. Sometimes I do it too. Sometimes, yeah. But it's not what you should achieve to be. Kill them with success. Focus on you. Don't focus on anything else. And that goes for everything in life. People that did you wrong, this and that, cut them off. Just leave them be. Don't hold grudges. Be like, what is what it is. This is to relatives who've done you wrong, to a father or mother that wasn't there in your life because they chose not to be, because they couldn't take on the responsibility. Cowards in my eyes. Yeah. But once you come to a certain point where you look at that person And you say, look, I don't hold a grudge against you. You've made your mistake. You made your choice, but I'm going to make my choices. And you just become the best version you could possibly be. You become successful. When you're not in need of revenge and you just become successful, that is the best revenge. Ironically.
Apreciaban por ser idol y te das cuenta por esta frase. 적어도 너처럼 약하진 않지. No sé cómo lo habrán traducido en español, pero 너처럼 약하진 않지 tiene dos significados. Una es, por lo menos no soy débil como vos, o si no, puede significar, por lo menos no me drogo como vos.
She's explaining like the different meanings.
Pasa que hay muchos raperos coreanos que tienen problemas.
Many Korean rappers who have drug problems, and since Korea the drug is illegal, they have a sentence for this. I think I know who some of these rappers are, but I'm not going to mention their name out of respect.
Con la droga, y como en Corea la droga es ilegal, tienen una condena por esto. Hay una parte de la canción que dice: agradezco por ser genio, me dan pena que solo por eso se droguen.
I'm sorry that they're doing drugs is because they have no talent, bro. That's cold.
Es que no tienen talento. Vieron que mismo en la canción se considera a él como un genio. Genios como los reyes Hwanghae y el otro rey ese que mató a su hijo, el rey Yongjo.
Yeah, so this ties into the one king who wanted to kill his. So it is right. I think it is right what I'm thinking, right? The whole analogy, the whole comparison of him being that one king who is not supposed to be the heir to the throne, that is a genius but is ruthless. So he's portraying that with blonde AGUST.
Pero despiadados. Los colores que usan en el videoclip
Dark
es
blue,
oscuro,
cold,
azul,
great feeling of
frío,
loneliness.
una gran sensación de soledad. Aprecien por favor esta vestimenta. El
The Handbook of Kings is dope though. The Gongryongpo, I don't know, the king's clothing, did you see how beautiful it is on top? He's in sneakers.
hanbok de los reyes, el Kungyongpo. ¿Vieron qué hermoso es? Encima en zapatilla.
Oh, he's wearing sneakers.
Bueno, acá les
From these clothes, you realize that he's not really the king. It is the prince.
voy a revelar un super dato. Por la vestimenta te das cuenta que en realidad no es el rey, sino que es el príncipe. ¿Vieron que la ropa tiene dibujos?
Do you see that a dragon is drawn on his clothes? Well, based on how many fingers a dragon has, it defines range. Oh, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that one has. If he has 5 fingers, it is because he is king. It has 4 is because he is the prince. 3 means that he is the king's grandson. And as you can see in the clothes, the supposed king has 4 fingers. That is, he is not the king, he is the prince. Bro.
Dibujó un dragón. Según cuántos dedos tiene ese dragón, define el rango. Si tiene 5 dedos, es porque es el rey. Si tiene 4 dedos, es porque es el príncipe.
Oh
y si
my
tiene
God.
3, significa que es el nieto del rey. Y como ven acá, en la ropa de este supuesto rey,
You know why I know that Rey is king? Because in French it's le roi. Roi. R-O-I. Le roi. That's the king.
tiene solo 4 dedos, o sea que no es un rey, es un príncipe. También el corte que
Cut in his eyes, clearly referring to the movie Scarface, where the protagonist is called Tony Montana. Ah, this is one of his songs as well. This is one of Suga's favorite movies, and also has a song on first mixtape called Tony Montana.
tiene en el ojo, es claro que hace
Oh, that's why he
referencia
did
a la
it, huh?
película Scarface, donde el protagonista se llama Tony Montana. Esta es una de las películas favoritas de Suga, y también tiene una canción en su primer mixtape llamada Tony Montana. En la película, Tony Montana construye un imperio vendiendo drogas y por su codicia termina arruinando su vida. Yo no soy muy buena con los números, pero mi marido Alex Opa estuvo jugando y haciendo cuentas
13.
y había muchas cosas que coincidían con el número 13. Al principio dije, ay, ¿qué? Es igual que IU, la canción 8, que era todo con 8. Pero después cuando me contó todas las coincidencias, la verdad que me sorprendió y ahora, bueno, se los voy a compartir con ustedes. Este segundo mixtape salió el 20 de mayo del 2020. Si suman todos los números,
The mixtape was released on the 25th to 22nd of May 2022 is what she says. 2 plus 2 plus 0 plus 5, that's 9, plus 2 is 11, plus 2 is 13.
2 más 2 más 5 más 2 más 2 nos da 13. La canción Daechwita dura 3 minutos
3 minutes 46 seconds. Let's count those up. That's 7 plus 6, which is 13.
y 46 segundos. Si sumamos 3 más 4 más 6 nos da 13. Miren acá en esta foto de este segundo mixtape que en su ropa
This is a photo of the mixtape and it says 13.
Dice ahí en un costado 6, 13 también. El 6 no se ve muy bien, pero el 13 sí es bastante nítido.
Let me guess, there's 13 songs?
La única canción que nos da 13, sumando los minutos y los segundos, en el primer mixtape de AGUST, es la canción de Tony Montana. Dura 3 minutos y 28.
Oh my god. He's referring to the song Tony Montana, and in the song Tony Montana, it's 3 plus 2 plus 8, which is 13.
8 segundos, y si sumas 3 más 2 más 8 te da 13. Hay
What?
dos canciones más en su primer mixtape que tienen relación con el número 13. Una es la canción 724148, que son los números de colectivo que tomaba Sugar.
Okay, so 7 plus 2 plus 4 is 13. 1 plus 4 plus 8 is 13.
724
Man.
es el colectivo que tomaba para ir a su escuela cuando vivía en la ciudad de Daegu. Y 148 era el
Bro, 1 plus 4 plus 5 plus 3 is 13.
número de colectivo que se tomaba para ir al colegio en Seúl cuando ya había entrado a Big Hit. Si sumas 724 te da 3.
Bro, do you guys know that movie 23 with Jim Carrey? Have you guys seen the movie 23 with Jim Carrey? If you haven't, I advise you to watch that, man. This reminds me of that movie. This is scary, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man. Nah, but this is dope.
13,
This
y
is
si sumas
definitely intentional.
148 también te da 13. La otra
148.
es 140503 Uptown. Es una canción que escribió el 3 de mayo del 2014 a la madrugada, por eso se llama así. Y si sumas 1453 te da 13 también. ¿Por qué es tanto la obsesión con el número 13? El 13 es muy importante para Yoongi por dos razones. Una
Ese 13 es importante por Yoongi. For different reasons, it's very important for Yoongi. But the subtitles, man.
es una canción que
The subtitles are gone, man. I'll translate. Don't worry, I'm a fluent Spanish speaker.
escribió el
Yo habla español. Sí,
3 de mayo
por favor,
de
chiquita.
del 2014 a la madrugada, por eso se llama así. Y si sumas 1453
Okay, so the accumulation
te da
is 13.
13 también. ¿Por
Again,
qué es tanto la obsesión
Será? It is
con el
13.
número 13? El 13 es muy importante para Yoongi por dos razones.
It is very important for Yoongi for two reasons.
Una es que hay muchos 13 en el día que BTS debutó, que es
Ooh! So 13 is a reoccurring number for BTS's debut. So the 13th of June 2013.
el 13 de junio de
Reason
2013. Y la otra razón importante es que a sus 13 años,
And the other important reason is related to 13 years.
o sea, 13 años de edad coreana, que es la edad que estás en tu sexto año de la primaria, su vida cambió rotundamente porque empezó a producir música.
So when he was 13, on sexto grado de la primaria, what the fuck does that mean, bro? Hold up, I don't understand a second.
El 13. Y la otra razón en el día que es que a sus 13 años, o sea, 13 años de edad coreana, que es la edad que estás en tu sexto año de la primaria, su vida cambió rotundamente porque empezó a producir música.
So is this when he started like his interest in music? Because this was his first primaria, like the first year or something, school or something? I don't know, bro.
중학교 6학년인 당시 이 곡을 들으면서 그래 나도
So when he was 13 years old, he got introduced to Epic High's Fly, which I reacted to on Patreon. He got introduced to Epic High's Fly, and it made him want to rap, and I think it also made RM want to rap.
랩을 하겠어
The same song, I think.
했던 게 나의 꿈이 되었고 나의 전부가 되었고 나의 인생이 되었고 그리고 지금의 나를 만들어줬던 것 같다.
Hay una entrevista que cuenta sobre esto. Dice que a los 13 años empezó a hacer MIDI. Cuenta que cuando era chico la pasaba mal, que con la poca plata que tenía lo usaba para comer o para tomarse el colectivo, que no le cansaba para las dos cosas. Y lo que componía lo vendía, pero no era bien pagado. Es por eso que a pesar de su éxito y de su posición actual, dice que no te olvides del pasado. Volvamos al Yuga de pelo negro, siempre rodeado.
Hold up, man. I'm trying to understand this. Hold up, bro. This is complicated. Without subtitles, it's tough, man. Is there a reason why there's no subtitle? Maybe I should refresh it. 13 minutes 32. Let's go back to it. Maybe like she ran out of subtitle space.
Comer o para tomarse
Nah, there's no subtitles left.
나의 꿈이 되었고 나의 전
Hay una entrevista que cuenta sobre esto. Dice que a los 13 años empezó a hacer MIDI. Cuenta que cuando era chico la pasaba mal, que con la poca plata que tenía lo usaba para comer o para tomarse el colectivo, que no le cansaba.
Can somebody please translate this part? I don't know what's going on. Like I hear tres, I hear ocho, I don't know.
Para las dos cosas, y lo que componía lo vendía, pero no era bien pagado. Es por eso que a pesar de su éxito y de su posición
Pesar, that's thinking.
actual, dice que no te olvides del pasado. Volvamos al Yuga de pelo negro, siempre rodeado de 6 amigos. En esta escena es amarillenta, hay una bandera
Talking about his friends.
amarilla ahí en un costado. El dorado recuerda a la realeza. Hay un cuadro atrás que tiene caracteres chinos que significa como que el oro y el jade llegarán, que
So the chino looking homies that he's got around, they represent like what, the doing illegal activities or like thugs or something, or like
justamente el oro y el jade son piedras preciosas, algo común para un rey, y esta mujer
oh, so like the how do you say this, the delinquents of society see him as a king, as like the leader of the group, like a king, like a really like a royal. They see him like that. Okay, so like the street thugs or whatever, I think.
que seguramente representa a Army, le da una llave que tiene colgada una especie
There's a key.
de amuleto de jade con forma del sello real. La verdad que nos da una impresión de que él es el verdadero rey, y cuando se va a enfrentar a su otro yo, va en este auto
Oh, so the keys to the car, Hyundai.
auspiciado obviamente por Hyundai.
I like this car though. It's old school. I like this.
El modelo de este auto es de la primera generación de la línea Granger, y aunque lo capturen vieron que al final se
Is this his first car or something?
sale con la suya, y con la pistola al final mata a su otro yo que estaba lleno de agresión y furia. Obviamente los dos personajes es uno, se ve que es una batalla interna, sus diferentes yo, su conciencia del pasado y su conciencia actual, pero bueno, el que ganó fue el de pelo negro. Este tipo de conciencia, alguien que recuerda el pasado, lo considera como el verdadero rey.
I'm a boss.
Y hablando de reyes, vieron que el nombre real de Yuga es Min Yoongi y el apellido es Min. Una vez había explicado sobre el tema de los apellidos, después si quieren véanlo. Y bueno, todos los Min vienen de la misma raíz. Los que son de apellido Min es porque son todas familias lejanas, porque la raíz es la misma. Y hay 4 emperatrices y reinas con el apellido Min, así que sí, tiene sangre de la realeza. Bueno, este segundo mixtape se lo ve mucho más maduro a Yuga, más libre, nada que ver con su primer mixtape, que es súper agresivo, que se ve que todavía estaba como en una búsqueda de su identidad. Se ve que este enojo lo superó y eliminó esa faceta para poder seguir avanzando.
Guys, I don't know what the hell is going on. Like okay, his name has something to do with like royalty. Like he is one of the famous people or something with the name Min. Like it's a royalty name or something, right? If I'm not mistaken, the king that she was talking about also has a similar sounding name, very similar.
Pensando y desarrollarse como artista. La letra de la canción dice: al principio quería ropa, luego dinero, y ahora qué. Siempre miraba hacia arriba, pero ahora viendo abajo quiero establecerme. Bueno, hay muchísimo análisis dentro de una sola canción, de un videoclip. Todo esto es una interpretación personal, subjetiva. Pueden dejar sus opiniones acá abajo. Espero que les haya gustado todos los aspectos históricos y culturales en este video. Y si te gustó, no te olvides de dejar tu like y suscribirte en el canal. 좋아요와 구독을 눌러주세요. 자, 귀요미스.
Guys, go like the original. Can somebody please explain to me the last part of it? I really want to know. Thank you very much.